Hi, it's been a hot minute, yeah? Yes, I bleached my hair, yes, I got braces. But let's move on to the video. Instagram deleted my reel, so I decided to make a whole video because I'm petty like that. Ever since the news of Ronaldo going back to Manchester United has come out, all his rape apologist stands have come out of their woodworks, extending their unconditional support to the rapist. Yes, he's a rapist, go argue with your mom. Naturally, a lot of people, including myself, came forward explaining to people how they're supporting a rapist and that's not a very nice thing to do. To which Ronaldo stands replied with, for those of you who don't know, Ronaldo was accused of sexually assaulting a woman in 2009. In 2018, German publication Der Spiegel interviewed the victim to get her side of the story. As per the report, Ronaldo met the then 25-year-old model in a nightclub called Lorraine in Las Vegas. Ronaldo asked for her number and invited her to a party, after which the two went to his penthouse in the nearby Hotel Palms Place. The woman was with another friend in case someone decides to pull the, oh, why did she go alone with him? After Ronaldo sexually assaulted her, they both left the penthouse and went home. That's when her friend who was with her the whole time told her that they were all over the news and pictures of her with Ronaldo were circulating all over. It is only then that she told her friend that Ronaldo had sexually assaulted her. Her friend advised her to be careful because football players are really powerful and in such cases there is no justice, and so far it sucks that she's right. The victim was then advised by a childhood friend to report the incident anonymously, the phone call recording of which was obtained by Der Spiegel. The next day, the police arrived at the victim's house and she requested to be taken to the hospital so she could have the rape kit administered on her. The police kept insisting that she take the name of the perpetrator so that they could further the investigation, but she did not do so because she was really scared. After being treated for her injuries and getting medication, she went back home, but she still continued to feel sick and confused and could not cry for 3 months. A friend recommended her a lawyer named Mary Smith, who advised the victim to go to the police and give out a full statement, including the name of the perpetrator. This was 2 or 3 weeks after the assault, and even after giving her statement, she asked the police to not do anything with her statement because she was scared and emotionally unstable. She said she needed more time to think, so the police agreed with her to not do anything with the statement. While she wanted justice, she also did not want her name out publicly because she was scared of Ronaldo's fans, the media, and the power this man has. This is when her lawyer suggested an out-of-court settlement. And yeah, this made sense to her because she did not want to get rich, she wanted to pay for her bloody treatment. Her lawyer then contacted Ronaldo's lawyers in England, who then contacted his lawyers in Portugal. Ronaldo's team got to work real quick, and here's where you see how powerful men really manipulate shit in their favor. A 27-page questionnaire with hundreds of questions was sent to Ronaldo, his brother-in-law, and his cousin, who were all present that night. Der Spiegel got their hands on these questionnaires somehow through football leaks and found that there are various versions of these documents. While the questions are more or less the same in all the documents, the answers differ drastically throughout. Consider this. While in the September 2009 version of the document, Ronaldo explicitly admits to sexually assaulting the woman, saying that she said no, that she asked him to stop multiple times, that he later apologized. The December 2009 version of the document paints an entirely different picture altogether. One where everything that happened between Ronaldo and the victim that night was completely consensual. While his lawyers in England and Portugal were busy manipulating shit there, his lawyers in the US hired a private detective, a former cop, to find out everything that they could about the victim. He collected details about her life, gathered information about her parking tickets and such, and spent hours shadowing her and watching her house.
अभी मैं पुणे जा रहा हूँ, आप मेरे पीछे आओगे, साथ में चलते हैं ना शेयरिंग करके, पैसा भी बचेगा.
After practically pulling out every single dirty trick in the book, Ronaldo's lawyers finally decided to meet the victim's lawyers. After 12 hours of mediation, which was essentially Ronaldo's lawyers joking and laughing in one room while the victim has a meltdown in the next room, they settled for $375,000, which is what Ronaldo earned each week playing for Real Madrid. The final out-of-court settlement included 11 clauses, out of which the most important one was essentially an NDA, which prohibited the victim from ever speaking about the incident. Not to her family, not even in therapy. Forget taking his name. Not only was she prohibited from taking Ronaldo's name, she was required to drop all allegations against him. As part of the same settlement, the victim wrote a 6-page long letter addressed to Ronaldo, which his lawyers were supposed to give to him since he did not come for the settlement. Of course, signing the NDA does not mean anything for the trauma and the damage that was already done. For years after, the victim struggled with suicidal thoughts. For a year after the incident, she drank every day. She left her job because the sight of the club was too triggering for her, and her family says that her demeanor completely changed. In 2017, Der Spiegel first published about Ronaldo and the documents that they had obtained. At first, Ronaldo's lawyers were like, oh, this is fake and made up, but then they quickly switched to, oh, this is protected under client attorney privilege and the documents are confidential. What they won't tell you is that they explicitly asked Ronaldo to not fill the questionnaire himself. He was only supposed to verbally report what happened that night, and his lawyers revised his answers again and again and again until the whole narrative changed and the story twisted in his favor. It was during the time Der Spiegel published a second story about Ronaldo and the sexual assault allegations that the victim decided to hire another lawyer. In 2018, in the same year, she proceeded to file a civil lawsuit against Ronaldo with the help of her new lawyer, who claimed to have her settlement and non-disclosure agreement from 2009 declared as void, as she was not competent enough to get into a legal agreement given the emotional damage from the sexual assault, and because her conditions like ADHD and learning disability were not accounted for. Her lawyer cites another reason for claiming the non-disclosure agreement and settlement as void. Those documents are essentially evidence of a criminal conspiracy to conceal and obstruct justice and prosecution of that sexual assault. Another important thing, Ronaldo's side has already violated one of the clauses of the settlement. The letter that she wrote him, he never received it. In its statement denying all the allegations against Ronaldo, his agency Justified states that this alleged letter by the so-called victim was never received by Ronaldo. I mean, at the end of the day, it does not matter how good you are with the ball if you can't keep your balls where they belong, in your pants. Years later, and the victim has been diagnosed with PTSD and clinical depression. I don't want to hear a single person saying, oh, why did she take so long to come forward? Because she did not. She reported the very next day, but was failed by a system that favors rich and powerful men and a shitty lawyer. And of course, she decided to pursue the case years later. She has a competent lawyer now, and thanks to the Me Too movement, a lot of women have got the courage to come forward. Another reason why the victim decided to come forward after so many years is because she wanted to know if there are more women who have been assaulted by Ronaldo. And hey, what does she know? There are. This is not the first and only allegation against Ronaldo. He was accused of sexual assault in 2005 as well. His ex-girlfriend has come forward in support of the victim, saying that he's a psychopath and he threatened to have her kidnapped and her body cut up. That's the reality of your legendary football player. I also don't want to see another, oh, then why did she take the money? Because of course she did. She wasn't stable enough to get into a legal agreement and she needed to pay her fucking bills. Pursuing a criminal case at the time meant proving beyond reasonable doubt that Ronaldo had sexually assaulted her, which is extremely difficult. And this is true for all sexual assault cases, which is why most victims settle out of court. I mean, I understand if someone does not want to drag a legal battle for years and have to rehash their trauma for multiple people on multiple occasions only for the rapist to go scot-free or with bare minimum punishment. Of course she took the fucking money. Another thing I don't want to hear is none of the allegations are proved. Because of course they're not. The legal proceedings are still ongoing. And in case Ronaldo is acquitted, please don't pretend like rich and powerful men have not manipulated the judiciary and gotten away with much worse. The only reason I'm even making this video is because Instagram deleted my reel about this whole situation for violating bullying and harassment guidelines. I guess all the guidelines only apply to sexual assault survivors exposing of predators and not to the queerphobes and transphobes and misogynists who thrive on Instagram. Even after hearing and seeing all this, if you want to move like beer biceps and write long emotional essays about the club's biggest legend, you do you, boo. You can make all the sentimental posts in this world. All it's going to show me is that you're a rape apologist. There is literally no reason you need to ride so hard for a rich, white, powerful footballer. Sure, your king is returning home, but if he's a rapist, what does that say about your kingdom? Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like the video, please like, comment, share and subscribe. You know the drill. And click on the bell icon if you want to. I mean, that'd be cute.